Well, I'm the president, the chief cook and bottle washer. So I've been in the business about 16 years. Up until just recently, it's been a job. But since I've joined the Alliance, it's become fun again. The main thing that the Alliance has done for me, people see me in a whole different perspective than they did before. They treat me now as a professional, whereas before I was an insurance salesman.
I really can't tell you. I just celebrated my 60th birthday, and I'm more excited about the business and what we're doing here than anything I've ever done in my 28-year career. The people have such a willingness to talk to you. I was told in the beginning, you're going to have to take a lot of no's. Well, in my short little use of the advertising program, nobody has said, no, I don't want to talk to you. What they've said is, when can we get together and when can we sit down and discuss with you what you can do for us with retirement planning? It's like night and day. It's just the most amazing thing that I have ever seen in my life. Of course, it doesn't hurt also that I've had one of the highest income months that I've ever had in the program last October, or this October, and I think in the near future that could double. That's very exciting to an old guy like me.
The techniques that the Alliance has taught us has allowed us to ask the right questions and then back it up with when the client is selecting a product for us to say, by the way, before you decide on that, let me ask you a quick question. What are you doing about your retirement? And it's amazing, the clients all of a sudden, especially the men come alive. Because quite frankly, you know, they view mortgage insurance as a necessary evil. They got to die, and et cetera, et cetera. Now they see a living benefit. They see something that they have an interest in, and I mean, where they might have been, you know, looking at a $50 premium and trying to decide if they could afford it. All of a sudden now they're saying, I want that $300 a month program. $300 a month. So what the Alliance has done for us is it's allowed us to double our production, double our commissions, and just has all our agents doing exactly the same thing.
I had a little problem with the business because I was a professional all my life as an educator, and when I found that people really weren't viewing me that way any longer, it was a concern. And when I heard you speak in San Jose about 8 months ago, I became very interested because it seemed that your philosophy was exactly what I had been looking for as far as someone to work with. I left the agency where I was working and went out on my own and have started incorporating more and more of the Progressive Alliance techniques. And I'm finding that it's increased my sales, it's helped my business, and it's certainly helping my self-image as a professional.
Last month I more than doubled my annuity production. My best month ever before that was about $250,000. But I don't concentrate in annuities, I do mostly long-term care. My wife was my partner, we did about $700,000 in long-term care last year. So we didn't really do much with annuities, but we kind of sold them by accident. I started using some of your PowerPoints, and last month we cracked $520,000. My wife was concerned about the videos sitting on the shelf, so we started passing them out and we doubled our production. Well, I think there's probably two other things that really mean a lot to us from the system. One is how quickly it builds trust with a senior client. That's critical to a senior. If you don't have their trust, you're just not going to make a sale, and that's the end of the story. I had a lady come into my office this past month who said, Mel, I'm here just to do $30,000 with you. That's all I have to work with, because she had just sold a bond that had been called, actually. So that was all she was going to do, and it took me about 10 minutes to get her to loosen up a little bit. Finally, I started using some of those power phrases with her about safety, because that was her big concern. She gave me another $70,000 before the day was over. One of the biggest things that's helped us with is organization, because we used to be real disorganized, and now we have a system for how to flow people to the office. We're going to stay for life.
Just last week, I passed out one of the movies in a box. And from just that presentation, that one sale was $3,000 premium on the wife and about $6,000 premium on the husband. So it's been wonderful. I should have started using the tools 5 months ago. I look at what I had done in the past, and it's almost tripled my production. As an insurance agent, you're kind of perceived in one way, and when I changed the name of the company as well as my title, retirement planner, it has really risen, I guess, my belief as well as the client's outlook on me. The tools have been fantastic. The brochure, one client called me back and said that was an excellent brochure. The movie in a box basically made the sale for me. I just came back in and answered the questions. So the tools are great. You just have to use them. You have to get them out of the box. Once you get them out of the box and in the client's hands, your job is about 85 to 90% done. I think it's more than worth the time and money. One sale would pay for your dues for a whole year. In my case, 2 or 3 years. So if you use the tools, you take advantage of all the support that the Alliance provides us, it's fantastic. I've been in the Alliance 5 months, and I'm going to stay in the Alliance for life. Fantastic.
At the beginning, I was selling term, then I get into some cash value. But what's happened to me in the last 5 or 6 months has been phenomenal. I met you, well, I should say I met you. I saw you at the meeting in San Diego. I think it was in March or April. And then the next time I saw you was in Houston. I joined up with the Alliance at that time. And it was interesting because I had a close that evening. And just taking notes from the presentation you gave in Houston, I went to that closed and turned a $37 a month sale into a $200 a month sale, just by saying that I was specializing in retirement planning. I used to consider it to be pretty good if I got $90 or $100 a month sales. I don't get anything less than a $100 a month sale. I'm up now, I've booked some sales in the last couple of months that have been over $1,000 a month. People recognize the fact that retirement planning is something that they need. In addition to that, I can't believe how people are opening up without my even having to ask them. I don't feel like I'm in the same business anymore. I feel like I've risen to a whole new level.